Government corruption has never been more prevalent or caused more harm. It's why extremism is on the rise. It's why the financial gap between the haves and have-nots has never been wider. And it's why our planet is at risk of an extinction level tragedy. That's why I need your help to keep exposing the truth about the rot on both sides of the aisle. Become a supporter or a friend of the show today by clicking on the coffee link in the description box below. Friends of the show join me on a Zoom hangout once a month, and you guys can ask me any questions you want, and I can get to know you better. But the most important reason to help is to keep the show alive. Together, we can and will save our country and our planet. Thanks in advance and enjoy the show. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the show. I have an update to share about one of Trump's Capitol insurrectionists. It's time for an episode of Where Are They Now?
Matthew Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
So Tennessee resident Matthew Bledsoe has been convicted on all charges related to January 6th. So federal prosecutors haven't lost a single case when these defendants go to a jury trial. When they've opted for a jury trial, every single one has been convicted on all counts, but they're the silent majority. So here's the deal. Here's how Bledsoe embarrassed himself in court. Bledsoe scaled a wall and he entered the Capitol through a broken window while you could hear alarms blaring in the background. But in court, he told the jury that he believed he was allowed inside the building. And Bledsoe also tried to convince the jury that he had no idea that Congress was attempting to certify the Electoral College votes for Biden that day. No idea what was going on in there, but he had to get in, so much so that he scaled a wall and climbed through a broken window. Well, the problem for Bledsoe is that the prosecutor has his own words and actions on video. After he entered the Capitol, Bledsoe was heard on video saying, quote, "Where's those pieces of shit at?" So at trial, the prosecutor asked Bledsoe, who were the pieces of shit? And Bledsoe tried to explain it away. He tried to say that, I'm a loudmouth. And he claimed that he wasn't referring to members of Congress. He meant it for the people who he thought had stolen the election. Then the prosecutor asked him about a photo that he shared on social media. And the photo shared members of Congress on the ground. You guys have probably seen this photo. They were down on the ground. They were crouched down, hiding from the mob. Well, Bledsoe, again, tried to excuse it away. He said, I just reposted it. And, I didn't have all the information at that time. So I guess, reposting something doesn't count. But Bledsoe was then asked about a text that he sent to his wife in which he said that it was, quote, good that someone had planted bombs near the Capitol. So she texted him, told him what was going on. He said, good. His defense was that he didn't mean, quote unquote, good. And he also didn't mean it when he said that he stormed the Capitol. But the prosecutor told the jury, quote, you don't storm somewhere you have a right to be. I don't storm my friend's house when I go over for dinner. He said he stormed the Capitol and he meant it. But possibly Bledsoe's most LOL funny excuse came when the prosecutor asked why he climbed a wall to reach the Capitol. Bledsoe said that where he lives in Tennessee, it's, quote, quite a bit different. And he said that he climbs walls all the time back home. This is a 38-year-old man, you guys. He climbs walls all the time because that's what you do in Tennessee. I mean, who knew? My maid of honor lives in Tennessee. I'm going to have to give her a call and see if she's regularly climbing walls since she moved from California. Anyway, Bledsoe's attorney gave the jury additional pathetic excuses for his client's actions. He claimed that Bledsoe didn't realize until he reached the Capitol Rotunda and saw tear gas that he wasn't supposed to be in the building. And then the attorney also argued that the government hadn't proven that Bledsoe intended to obstruct Congress. And he told the jury that Bledsoe was really only guilty of one misdemeanor, and that was the crime of parading in a Capitol. Fortunately, they weren't buying it, and the jury convicted him, as I said, on all charges, which include obstructing an official proceeding, entering a restricted building or grounds, 2 counts of disorderly conduct, and parading or demonstrating in a Capitol. So Bledsoe will be sentenced on October 21st. I will definitely let you know what happens and when that happens. The felony obstruction charge, as you guys probably know by now, it comes with a maximum of 20 years in prison, but federal sentencing guidelines are always much lower. He has one of the toughest judges, too. It's actually Chief U.S. District Judge Beryl Howell. So I have a feeling she's going to be a little irritated that he wasted the court's time when there's so much evidence. It was so clear what happened. So even though he wasn't one of the violent offenders, I have no doubt he's going to get some time behind bars. And remember, he's going to carry this felony charge around with him forever. That means no guns. And I looked it up. In the state of Tennessee, they do allow for convicted felons to have their voting rights restored, but only under certain conditions. And he doesn't meet those certain conditions. Bledsoe doesn't qualify because, according to the Tennessee Secretary of State website, if someone is convicted of a felony which involves interference with government operations, that's it. The ban is permanent. So he will be forever ineligible to vote from this point forward. And, you know, Bledsoe's wife had posted on Facebook after January 6th, and she referred to her husband as a, quote, patriot soldier for what he did at the Capitol. You know, I just wonder if she's going to post again and be just as proud to tell people that her husband is now a convicted felon. Anyway, guys, when I hear more and when he is sentenced, I will let you know. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care. I'll talk with you soon.